Yo, what good? What's good? What's good, y'all? Oh man, the new year already starting off crazy with some of these videos. Anyway, what's good, y'all? Yeah, I saw some of the comments. Yeah, act like I never left. I didn't. I went on hiatus, y'all. I didn't pull Yoshihiro Togashi. I did not pull Miura, but I went on hiatus. All right, some stuff happened in life, some personal matters, as well as some technical difficulties. But we in here, and this video literally has been a long time coming. Y'all see the title, like I mentioned in the movie effects video, which it seemingly got well received. I'm grateful for that. I've spoken about this before and alluded to it in videos. I've spoken about it to a degree in comment sections. And it really needs to be said. The Naruto Effect. What is the Naruto Effect? How has it infected, literally infected, the view of anime and manga, specifically in the shonen genre, for the past, really the past decade? And not so much the past decade because you didn't have such an online presence, but really the people who came up with really within the last decade of watching anime, reading manga, really the last, I would say 5 years, it slowly creeped, especially now that Naruto has ended. And people don't even realize it. Right? The Naruto effect is very simple, but its reach is widespread beyond what you could believe. The Naruto effect is simply this. Folks have a perspective on shonen manga specifically, and they call it shonen battle manga, even though there are very few shonen battle manga that actually exist. In cases such as Naruto, Bleach, those are two of the recent examples. There aren't really many shonen. Dragon Ball is not one. This is part of the Naruto effect. Hunter x Hunter is not one, part of the Naruto effect. One Piece certainly isn't one, part of the Naruto effect. You could some would argue Yu Yu Hakusho, but that one among with others I put in Dark Shonen. I can do a whole nother video on that subgenre. And anyways, the Naruto effect is you have it from people who grew up watching Naruto. And around a lot of those same people end up watching Yu Yu Hakusho. I didn't grow up watching Yu Yu Hakusho. I didn't know what Yu Yu Hakusho was until really about 5 years ago. Did not know that. It impacted the way that people saw how characters typically supposedly grew up in shonen, and that's not the accuracy. If you know Astro Boy, if you know Beyblade, Digimon, One Piece, Hunter x Hunter, Fist of the North Star, Toriko, Shingeki no Kyojin, which I perceive more as seinen, but folks say shonen. You could go through the whole gamut. Shonen doesn't have typical things. Shonen doesn't have typical protagonists. They differ greatly. Yes, there are, people say tropes. Yes, there are similarities because it's shonen, it's a demographic, and they're trying to sell towards a target audience. But there are grave differences in a plethora of characters, from protagonists on down. And the Naruto effect is simply people have a cookie cutter way that they perceive shonen, and that's it. They don't understand that you have to allow the series to speak for itself. They complain about certain things, but when the series goes outside of their expectations, then they get pissy about it. And it does not allow for the author, for the mangaka, for the creators of the animes to go and do their own things. When it's ecchi and certain other things, they give it a pass to a degree. But they see things as, ooh, there's some fighting, so it's got to be like Naruto. Especially pre-time skip, which people, I don't use Shippuden post-time skip. But especially pre-time skip. If he doesn't use the quote-unquote strategy like people are used to, even though Naruto doesn't have a monopoly on strategy. In fact, Naruto, it has some great strategic fights and has some good ones. But it's definitely not the creme de la creme when it comes to strategy. JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Bungo Stray Dogs, Hunter x Hunter, all far better with strategy than what Naruto ever presented. I'm just keeping it real. Just keeping it real. Folks act like, they'll say the DBZ effect, they'll say this and that. Folks don't know of the series because they have a limited view. They complain, they complain, and they complain. They call ass pulls, they call plot armor, they call so many other things because the Naruto effect is a lens in which they view things. They grew up with Naruto, that was their first major exposure to anime and manga, and that's it. They will not go beyond it. And the Naruto effect, and in fact, Bleach, which does different from Naruto, it's so close related, but because it's so close related, they don't throw shade on Bleach in the same way that you do with these other series that you do completely different stuff than Naruto does. So what happens is the Naruto effect, if I were to put a definitive definition on it, which I've not tried to do because it's a little bit debatable, I would say is having a very simplistic protagonist, uberly idealistic protagonist. Have that protagonist's view infect the entire story. You have it very simple characterization and character development outside of the antagonist. Let me put that, outside of the antagonist. And you cannot say that it's outside of the antagonist because that Itachi at one point was an antagonist. Uchiha Itachi. Every antagonist, for the most part, Naruto has great. The main cast, the main characters, Hatake Kakashi, Uzumaki Naruto, Uchiha Sasuke, Haruno Sakura, and most of the secondary characters, Konoha 9 and the rest, they don't have great characterization and great character development. So that's what the impact comes. You think everything is going to be simple. And you think things are going to be very predictable. You think, folks can say, and I'm not throwing shit at Naruto, but it's a very simple formulaic thing. Even Fairy Tail, which does a lot of simple writing, goes its own direction and people get pissy about it. Even Fairy Tail. Yes, I'm defending Fairy Tail because folks thought it was a carbon copy of Naruto. I've seen this happen time and time again. Black Clover has been called it. Other series have been compared to Naruto. Because that's how people in the West, a lot of these young bloods, and even some are older, that's their exposure. It wasn't Dragon Ball. Because you can't really compare all the series to Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball does too much stuff. You can't compare all the series to One Piece because One Piece does too much. And they get a lot of shade for it. You certainly can't compare it to a lot of other series that came along. Bleach does its own thing. All these series do their own thing, but everything's compared to Naruto. That's part of the Naruto effect. You think everything is this carbon copy, cookie cutter, simple, wrap it up, clap your hands and we're going through. In fact, Naruto doesn't even compare to a lot of cartoons and comics here in the West that I can get into. But because it has such an impact and exposure for the casual viewers to come into, even though Dragon Ball had great exposure, even though One Piece is the highest selling manga of all time, Naruto was an easy gateway for so many people, which isn't a bad thing, but it's the truth. It was the common, basic threshold. That's the Naruto effect. And people refuse to get beyond that. They refuse to put respect and critical acclaim to some of these series that deserve it. And I'm not talking overrating. I'm talking from a literary, analytical perspective. A lot of these series are way better than y'all give it credit for story-wise. Y'all just coming into it and just ignore. You're very superficial. And that's part of the Naruto effect. Very superficial thought. Unexpected one to like, comment, subscribe. I might get cheat for this, but if you really think about it, am I wrong? Just think on this video. That's what I'm trying to get y'all to do these days. In 2018, people need to start thinking. They need to broaden their perspective, broaden their horizons, open up their mind to critical analysis, critical thought, real critique. Let's grow up, let's mature, and let's really look at what's going on out here in these communities. And hopefully you can fix things, and hopefully folks can become more mature and more enlightened and stop complaining, bitching, and moaning. We out.